channel. Essentially, welcome back to Life with Me with Tanatswa Anissa Kanengoni. You know the vibes. I thought to do something different with you guys this time. I feel like I've had my YouTube up, since the beginning of this year, and I've only been able to do montage videos of my travels, of girls' trips, and maybe one or two odd makeup videos. But this time around, I was like, you know what? I have downtime. I'm in the UK. I'm in this beautiful apartment of my cousin's. She killed it with this place. It's stunning. And I've got the view of some of London, and you've got central London back there. You guys probably can't see it. Can you see it? Can you see it? I don't know, but the views are just amazing, and it's got me in a mood of just a TED Talk feel. Like I wanna talk, I wanna spill the beans, I wanna just vibe. So I thought, whilst I have the downtime, I might as well do a video where you guys get to know me a little bit more. There is a mirror right there, so if I keep looking there, I'm just checking that we're good, we don't have any boogies in the nose whilst I'm talking. I don't know how long this is gonna be because I can yap. But essentially, I'm literally just gonna go with the flow, tell you a bit about me, tell you some of the things that I like, my hobbies, my reasons why, a bit of my faith, and just get you guys to get to know me a little bit better. The content creators out there, my hat goes off because this is a full-time gig, okay? I understand now. It may look easier said than done though, so excuse me if I cough a little bit. I can't lie, the air quality here has got my asthma going a bit haywire. Mind you, I didn't even have asthma like that part when I first got here. I was struggling a little bit, but thank God everything's cleared. I did try to get an inhaler, but they were like, no, you're not from here, so sorry. And I was like, what do you think I'm gonna do with an inhaler? I can't, you know what I mean? Anyway, but that's a very long introduction, guys. I will probably chop and edit it, but I kind of just want to do an uncut run of me talking. Again, the vibes right now, beautiful. And then we got some R&B mixes going on in the back. My cousin's going to a date with her man. She's doing her thing. So I thought, why not? Let's just sit down and chill. We've got the vibes here right now. We've got the orange chair. We've got the drink. Cordial, not wine. But anyway, let's get into it. Let's start with a proper introduction of who I am, who you're watching. And so my name is Tanatswa Anissa Kanengoni. I will pop up a definition of what my name means, as well as like how to pronounce it. A lot of people get a bit confused when they see it on a piece of paper or they're reading it, which I understand. It's a longish name, but once you start getting the hang of it, it's kind of hard to forget my name, which is hopefully a good thing for the most part. But yeah, Tanatswa. And then my middle name is Anissa, and I don't feel like I say my middle name or use my middle name as often, but I feel like it's a really cool name that if I was a singer, I would definitely be going by Anissa. It's just such a beautiful name, and I think I'd probably use that for one of my kids one day, when I have them. I am 20 years old, born on the 17th of May, 05. Yes, I know, she's 20, I'm 20. Only turned 20 this year, and it shocks people all the time because I get given a lot of ages that are nowhere close to how old I am. I was actually in lounge on the way here in Kuala Lumpur and sat down. I was on my own and then got approached by an older man, and we ended up having like a conversation for like 30-40 minutes. And yeah, he was in his 70s and we had the best conversation. And when he guessed my age, he was like, oh, like, are you like 30, 29? I said, yeah. No, I only have 5 gray hairs, like, please. That was from stress. Story for another day. But anyway, yeah, so I am 20 years of age. It shocks a lot of people. One of 3 kids. I've got my older brother who's 30, my sister who is 26, And then there's me, who's 20, so we have quite the gap between each other. We all get along quite well, and I feel like it's helped us all as individuals. We all got our time to do our thing without a lot of interruption, I feel. That's a bit of a lie, but anyway. Yeah, so one of three. I'm from Canberra, Australia. Canberra is very small in comparison to a place like this. Very different, very tight-knit. Everybody knows everybody. But that's a lot of cordial. How cute is that glass though? Anyway, so yeah, from Canberra. I love Canberra, and I can't lie. The more travel I've done, the more I've really grown to love Canberra even more. Errands sometimes take Canberra for granted. Like, I understand why it was ruled one of the best places to live, because going to other places is so beautiful, and I highly recommend travel if you can. But yeah, Canberra's beautiful. It's just, you know, the fair few pros and cons, which there are in every place. I'm at the point of life where I'm starting to think about the different things and other options, but yeah, I really do love it there. Had quite a few jobs from young, but I think my work ethic has always just been there. So for me, I'm not shy to a hustle, but I think the older I get, the more I realize that not all productiveness can be conducive to your mental health, to a lot of things. Like, you've got to have that work-life balance, but also at the same time, we live in a world where things just keep rising. So I understand why people work so hard. And yeah, but I also like working hard so I can end up being in places like this. And I want that to continue to grow, and I want that to get bigger. What else? What are some other hobbies you guys should know? A lot of things that get people off guard is probably the sports I've played. Each time I've asked or been asked what sports I play, I get people to guess, and I normally get a few assumptions that I feel like are a bit, I don't know, they're good, but I just feel like people are just being a bit, like, say badminton. You never know what I'm going to surprise you with. But no, I played AFL for 3 years. I think it's called, here they refer it to Australian rules. AFL, yeah, anyway, I don't know. Played the 3 years. It was quite funny when I first went into it. A friend at the time had got me into it, and I had no idea what the sport was. I went onto the field thinking I was playing cricket. Boy, was I wrong. It's not cricket. But the one thing I did have was some legs on me, and I could run, and I could boot a ball, and that's all I needed. And tackled, and that was it. No, my technique was not always there. The cough, I told y'all. And yeah, I really do wish I could go play again. I might play again next year, but it does take up quite a bit of time. At the moment, I do dance though, and dance is so fun. Like, I didn't realize how many life skills are in dance, and not just dance, but any kind of activity. So if you're not in something, I think you should, not just because it's good for your health, but I honestly think extracurricular things really do exercise you physically, mentally, spiritually, you name it. And you just learn a lot of discipline through that. And it's not always fun. Like, don't get me wrong, there's been moments where I've wanted to quit, you know, any of the activities that I've done because it got hard. But the more you stay in it because you're forced to, or not necessarily forced to, I mean, you pay to be in those things, the more you learn a lot of things. And through dance, like, my gosh, in such a short period, I've learned a lot. And that is being able to be okay with being uncomfortable. Now, I mean, I didn't even start with this. I'm from Zimbabwe, to give you guys a background where I came from when I was 5 months old. That was from Zimbabwe. My whole family's Zimbabwean. And Shona just a little bit, not too much. But yeah, I'm a Shona babe. I'm a Zim babe. Love it, love the people, love the culture. Yeah, that being said, I've got some grooves, I've got some moves up my sleeve, being a Zim babe. So yeah, going into dance, I definitely think I did go into it thinking like, man, like, I know how to do a little two-step, and then I was humbled very quickly. There's a lot that's involved, and through that, I think I've grown a lot as a person. That if you don't put in the work, or, you know, if you don't know a move, that's totally okay, but now you're doing it in front of other people. So it did teach me a lot of things of being okay with being uncomfortable and being vulnerable and not knowing something and asking for help or communicating. Like, such a big life lesson. I feel like it's getting darker in here, guys, so I'm so sorry if I'm turning, if you can't see me. Anyway, so yeah, I don't really know what I was getting at. I feel like that's gonna happen a lot during this, but yeah, those are my hobbies, and I highly recommend getting into something because it teaches you stuff, and then you get better at being uncomfortable at things, and the more you get better with being uncomfortable, the easier it will be when things arrive and you're not necessarily prepared. You at least have the skills and the tools to deal with that situation. And yeah, what else? Oh yes, came to Australia, lived with both my parents for a bit and mum predominantly. And yeah, she's a very independent woman, so I think that's where I get the ability to travel on my own from, because I realized she solo traveled to get to Australia before the whole family came. And she had a job that also had her traveling, I guess, with her co-workers, but essentially by herself, right? So I think that got deposited into me, and is why I solo travel now. And I completely get people's concerns and how it's something that it's not everybody's cup of tea, but I think for me, the way my brain works, I kind of just go, why not? Why not? And I just love it, and I think I'm really starting to get accustomed to it now. That, not that I wouldn't want to not travel with other people, I love my ghost trips, but it does definitely make me think about, you know, the things you want around you, the people you want around you when you do like your own space, or when you're growing to like your own space. There's a lot of growth in solo traveling, and we'll delve into that in a minute. But yes, mum is a pastor, again, jack of all trades, nurse, pastor, author, has a women's organization. She's gonna love this plug. So she does a lot of things, and I think through that I've also naturally, like, I don't think I put two and two together only now, but that's probably why I've done and I do all the different things I do, because of mum. She does it. But yeah, she's a pastor, so I've grown up in a Christian household from young. Now, with that being said, I think, yes, that had a lot to play with my faith now. There's a verse or something that I'm thinking of, it talks about to parents, like, you know, grow your kids in the way that they should go. And growing up in a Christian household, it does plant a seed, but at the end of the day, something can plant a seed, but God's gotta water it, and you've got to be willing. And I'm gonna say 16, 17, 18, that's when my faith probably grew a whole lot more, because I could actually see God in my own situations in life whilst Brent Fires is playing. Goodness, this is just on a mix, guys, hold on. I just heard the lyrics and I was like, oh, that doesn't match what I'm talking about. Hang on a minute. Oh no, I just messed it up. Give me a second. Wait, no, it's just playing another song. No, what's happening? I want YouTube. How do you get YouTube? I feel like my age is showing now. I don't know how do you function these things? Excuse me. Anyway, now I feel like you guys really can't see me. Anyway, so yeah, grew up in a faith-based home, and yeah, mum would make us do the prayers a lot when we were young, and at the time I didn't really understand. Sorry. I think brushing my hair is honestly a personality trait of mine. I'm not even gonna lie. I love doing it, especially with straight hair. It just... and yeah, it wasn't until later in life when I had experiences on my own and was doing life the way I was doing life, and I just felt like there were things that I felt could only have happened through God. And from there, I've just been of the faith since. And don't get me wrong, it's not something that's easy. It's about having faith in moments where it feels impossible, and that's not easy, and that's not feel good. Things aren't working out the way you thought they would, and now you have to be optimistic. It's kind of, you feel like you're going crazy. But I found that when you start to understand certain verses, it's just quite nice to be able to take off the weight of feeling like you need to know everything. And that kind of goes into the topic of solo traveling and being in my early 20s, and a young adult, where people are making choices between uni and careers and dating, there's just a world of pathways that you feel like you need to have figured out, and that's not the case, you know. So being able to have faith in God, to be like, you know what, you have a plan, I'm gonna chill out, is the best thing ever. And I mean, you know, for my girls out there, you know, if you've ever been on a date, if you've ever talked to somebody and they put in that effort to be like, hey, like, let's go do this and I have this sorted out, you know that feeling. It feels really nice to be thought after. It feels really nice to have somebody just do the things that make you then realize that, hey, I can take my foot off the pedal. And that's the way it is with God. And don't get me wrong, I know myself. I like to drive in real life. Like, I drive manual. I'm very proud because it took a while to get there. But I drive manual and I love driving. And that's another thing, being in London, I'm like, I want my car. That's nice. But there's a lot of control in driving. And I think it's good to just sounds like, God, take the steering wheel. And that's something I'm learning a lot in life now, to be like, you know what, I can't control the narrative all the time. I might try, but if something's going to work, it will. If something is not, it's not going to. So you might as well follow his plan. I mean, why not? What else should we talk about, guys? I feel like now that I've kind of given you a gist of who I am, not fully, I don't think I can keep it all in this screen. Hopefully this gives you a feel of what you want to see more. I don't think I'm going to end it here though. I think I'll talk a little bit longer, but yeah, I just wanted something uncut. So if you're cleaning, if you're doing something, you can listen to this in the back, and then hopefully I get more time to do little videos like this when I am away. And it's just kind of like a journal right now, and I'm just yapping. I know a little later I'm probably gonna be like, why did I post that? There was no structure to it. But life is not about structure. It's not about structure. Or no. Let's not get complicated here. But you can't structurize everything in it. Good song, but yeah, questionable. Now what? The view here is beautiful, man. Like, it's just setting and the light is on, and what should I talk about now? Solo traveling. Where did that start? Why do I do it? Honestly, I think from a young age, like, again, probably the reason why I always get my age mixed up is things I've been the things that I've been exposed to from young, good and bad, that made me realize that, oh, okay, like, I'm able to do that. And I guess, again, I was just always trying things that I hadn't before. AFL dance, just always pushing the boundary from young. My mum would probably agree. And so, yeah, even in school, like, mum was really chill, thank God, because I know that's not the case for everybody in some aspects. She was chill, and I spent a lot of time, like, in Sydney on the weekends with my friends. We'd go to all these different, like, events, and mind you, I was not at the age to be allowed to go, but I went anyway. And so the idea of travel, even though it was with other people, was in the picture from a very young age for me. And there were some trips where I had to travel to Sydney by myself. And so there was those little testers, right? There was the little teasers of what was to come. And I think that just opened the door for more discovery. And from there, yeah, like, it just, I loved travel, and I got a taste for it, and I got the buzz for it. And I knew that each year, each other month, like, I had to go somewhere. That, like, I needed to do more. And I was doing this all throughout school, mind you. Like, I'm in year 9, year 8, year 11, and 12. Like, my friends would always be like, you in Sydney this weekend, or you at school? And I was like, I'm in Sydney. Now, I didn't do this throughout school, like school days, so I'm not trying to influence anybody else to do that. Don't do that. Prioritize your education once you're there. But I'm fortunate enough to have family that had weddings and events on the other side of the world, so costs were not going to be as high in terms of accommodation and things like that. And ended up going to Europe for the first time last year. Where else did I go? Went to Bali with friends. Like, I haven't done a bunch of solo travel, but I've definitely been making my way there. And I feel like as I get older, like, I've realized if you wait around for someone else to tell you when to do something, you may wait for a very long time. And you've just got to do it. If it ends up being a mistake, you figure that out early rather than later. So then what happened? Yeah, did my first solo travel, and I think that just led to a lot of individual adventures. Getting a tattoo. This one here, I only have the one, or maybe should be counted as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 tats. 14, that sounds so cool. I'm probably gonna say that to people now if I get asked. I have 14 tattoos. I feel like my Australian accent is really prominent today. I feel like I sound different all the time. It depends what mood I'm in, what time it is. Oh, this vibe right now is very romantic, man. I'm romancing myself, just sitting in this ambiance. I must light a candle. Is that a lighter there? I don't know. I don't want to put my cousin's things on. What I like. Okay, I got distracted. Yeah, 14 tattoos. Just joking. I've got a sentence that says, and I think I got the font a little bit too small because I feel like it's just kind of blended now. So it just kind of looks like if the sun and out. But it actually says, if the sun and the moon were to doubt, they too would go out. And I know no one else has this tattoo. Maybe now, after the inspiration, you better put quotes. Actually, it's not for me, so I can't do that. But where did I get that tattoo reference from? Was I watched this documentary on the Testament of Moses on Netflix. Now, there was a lot of different takes on it from philosophers and people from different faiths having their take on Moses from the Bible, or I guess from the Quran, or wherever they were getting that perspective from. So there was a lot of different opinions, but anyway, someone said that caught my eye, a sentence, which was, if the sun and the moon were to doubt, they too would go out, or essentially it was along those lines, and it just stuck with me in such a way that I was like, no, like I want to get that tattooed, and it felt like something that I felt like even God was like, yeah, cool, like do that, because it just stuck. Oh, I'm gonna play Cleo. Guys, I saw Cleo Soul in, where were we? Primark? Was it Primark? In Primark? Zara? I don't know, we were in the shop yesterday, and she was right in front of me in the line, and I was just like, that's who's playing right now. I listen to her all the time, but she was with her sister, I believe, and their kids, and I was like, you know what, if I was a celebrity or anything like that, I probably wouldn't want too many interactions if I was with my children as well, and I'm just trying to run some errands and they're misbehaving. I don't think I'd want someone in my face being like, can I get a photo? I'd appreciate it, but I was like, let me respect you and what you're doing. Keep going. Anyway, I feel like I don't actually sound like this, guys. Like, I need my puffer and it's affecting my voice. What was I saying? Right, the tattoo situation. Yeah, so was getting a tattoo. No, I wasn't getting a tattoo. Well, yes, I did get the tattoo, but we're going back to how I got the tattoo in the beginning. So, yes, heard that statement. I said, that's the one. I knew I wanted to get a tattoo at some point. I just did not know what. And I heard that and I said, that's going in my notes, because I have notes of just quotes in my phone. And one day I might sit down and go through them all. But yeah, had to put that one down. And then after Europe, Godspeed. After Europe, I did it. I just, one day I said, this is the day. This is the day. And it really didn't, that the Lord has made. Come on, hallelujah, somebody. Yes. So I went into the shop and it really didn't hurt. And essentially what this means, what it means to me, is that every single day you walk out of your house, you are essentially going to see one or two of these things, unless it's covered by clouds. You're going to see the sun, you're going to see the moon. And sometimes you have to look for it though. That's like, oh. Church has commenced, guys. Find your seats in the pews, please. Because we're now getting into a bit of a preaching. You need to catch what I'm saying now. If you don't catch it, somebody else will. Now, let's go back. So yeah, essentially, every day you're going to see both, or you're going to see one of them if you're looking. Keyword there. If you're looking for it, you will see the sun, you will see the moon. But at the end of the day, not that the moon or the sun is a person, for example, but it's just saying if these things failed to rise each day, then why would I then trust God? But because each day you're going to see the sun, you're going to see the moon, and you don't doubt the fact that you're going to see that, why in the world should I doubt the very thing that created it? Whether that's your belief or not, for me that is. And so it's a great reminder, and yet so simple but so powerful, that if the sun and the moon are still rising, despite the lightning, despite the rain, despite whatever's going around, why should I doubt God? If I can see that it's existing, if I can see that the moon is a of current state, I think it's that way, I can't see it back there. But anyway, if it's there, and I know it's there, just like I know I'm breathing in oxygen, why would I doubt God? So that's what my tattoo means. I'm trying to find some other things about me. Personality-wise, yeah, I think I'm someone who's, if I had to say 5 things to describe myself: calm. I like to think I'm a bit funny when you get to know me. There's just so many different sides to my humor, whether it's Aussie banter, whether it's dry humor, whether it's just anything. I have sarcasm. I love laughing. I love making people laugh, and that's just always been a thing for me since young. Like in primary school, I definitely made that my thing, to make my friends laugh, and it's just always been medicine for me. So humor, calm. I'd like to believe I'm calm. It takes a lot for me to get to a point of distress, but once I am in that field, not even. No, not really. It doesn't happen. It really does. Just like some volcanoes, I just turn it round. But yeah, calm, funny. No, I'm kidding. Calm, funny. What else did I say? Calm, funny.
This is all I got.
Wow. No. I have them, guys. I'm serious. Calm, funny. I'm just trying to put sentences into words. That's how I feel about myself, yeah. Sometimes you have to learn to love yourself. Because, yeah. Anyway. This is procrastination because I don't know. Calm, funny, strong-willed. Yeah, strong-willed. I would say as well, kind. Yeah, kind. You know, I'd hope to think. But no, genuinely, I think people can be nice. It's a different thing to be kind. Yeah, kind. And yeah, level-headed. I think I've got my head screwed on. I think some of the other descriptions it's left to everybody else's interpretation, but yeah, I think still being 20, you're finding yourself, but for the most part, I feel like I do know who I am and do know the things I stand on and the values, and yeah, you know, you slip up, you make mistakes, but character-wise, I think it's quite sound. Thing I would tell my younger self to end it up on a nice sweet note is you only have this one life. I know how generic that statement might be said. It's not generic, but people say it all the time, but you do only get this one life, and there are things that happen with this life that aren't always ideal, but make the most out of it. You know, I think that's what's important, and perspective, and it's not easy. Like I said, sometimes you want to steer the boat, but you gotta let God do that. And guys, I definitely got cut off. My mum gave me a ring through that video, which was probably an indicator to stop. But yeah, no, honestly, if you're my age, if you're older, if you're younger, honestly, yeah, live this life the way you want to live it. Not everyone's life is going to look the same. Do the things you need to do, move to the places, travel to the places, talk to the person. You only get one shot, so yeah, forgive yourself, move on, say your sorries, heal, and yeah, there's a lot of good and plenty. See what I did there? The song that's okay. All right, ciao. Till next time. Follow, subscribe, do the lot. Love you. Bye.